What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another exciting episode of Attack Productions. Today, I back up once again by Jake and Steve.
What's going on, y'all?
And today's matchup is, well, it's Jake versus Steve. Jake has brought us back the Bardock crew, as Steve has brought us SS4 Gogeta. Like always, there's buttons down below. There's links. Feel free to click them and look at them. And let's get into today's matchup. So, we've been gone for 2 weeks, and you guys brought back some decks that you're both very familiar with. Was it kind of like just want to be an easy transition?
Yeah, kind of looking for a comfort pick after having built a couple decks and not really finding the success I want for me personally.
Me, I was hoping to get a win. I'm not gonna lie. It is Gogeta.
Well, let's see how this matchup goes then.
Yeah, pretty much just dueling one drops here in the early game. There's not a whole lot that either deck can do in the early turns, but an interaction that's important to pick up on in this matchup is if you're the Bardock player, there's no need for you to attack the SS4 player with your leader on turn 1 and maybe even on turn 2 because they get value out of it and you don't draw cards when your leader swings. And then when they awaken, they go down to 6 life anyway, I think. And if they don't, you don't really care about... I mean, most decks in the format go down to 6 when they awaken. And if they don't, you don't really care because you'll have enough pressure to kill them later in the game. But if you're attacking them early in the game, just gives them cards.
I believe they do go down to 6. I'm double checking right now. I actually have not played Gogeta SS4 yet. Just because everyone else was already playing it when it first came out, there was like no need for me to pick it up.
Yeah, it was one of the decks I really liked during reveals and then kind of just really never got my turn, as it were.
I mean, half the shop for the longest time was literally either this or Shin before set 19 dropped.
Yeah, and before the bans came through.
Yeah, you go down to 6 of it, though. Steve, what was your mindset going against the yellow deck? Like, before, like, did you have, what is your experience against yellow? How about that with this deck?
A lot of losses for me. I'm not gonna lie. Whether it be against Yellow Sin, Bardock's crew, Yellow Apes, I just get pummeled by them no matter what I'm playing. I'm not gonna lie, but it's definitely from lack of experience against playing against those different colors. But yeah, as far as Gogeta, of course, it's a long strung out game against Yellow every time. But I don't know. Other than that, I'm really at this point just trying to go for it, trying to do the game plan that I know I could, and then I get an early game, go 10 out, probably because lack of plays to do. I can't really remember what's going on here.
This was a really strong play early on, though. It killed one of my guys, forced me to activate Power of a Super Saiyan in kind of a not super great way. And the reason this Goten is so much pressure is because it gets that extra boost and gets to snipe a card when it comes in. And then whenever you fuse, there's not a lot I can do to prevent taking that 3 damage. So I pretty much have to play this game like I'm at like 3 life, even though I'm at 6.
Yeah, it was in fear of the big boy dropping.
Yeah. Here I'm just kind of doing one of my favorite things in card games, which is play a guy draw a card or play a guy search top 5. This deck is really good at that, and there's a lot of good ways to get value out of your little 1-drops once they're on the board and they've already drawn you cards, like using your leader effect or just attacking smaller things with them. You can see here he's still on his front side, and I don't remember if it was this turn or last turn, but I kind of abuse that a little bit and trying to get some pressure out of the 1-drops. Because there'll be 10Ks once I've got the 4 Bardock's crew names resolved.
I don't remember what all of Gene does. Are you just swinging, kind of get some swings in right now with those cards?
Yeah, so Gine, when you play her, you get to play a 1-drop from hand and then immediately switch it to rest mode, which procs her +1, which is whenever one of your battle cards is switched to rest mode by one of your skills, you add a marker to her and draw a card. And then you get -2 to play a 4-drop Bardock from your hand for free. But otherwise, it's just a really solid 2-drop 15k unison that gets markers kind of quickly, especially because it's not super enticing for your opponent to attack. And really, what I just did with it this whole game and this entire event was just leverage it as a card draw engine that can also attack my opponent.
And now we're at with 4 energy with Steve going into this turn. Was there a fear of him playing the big boy at this stage?
Oh, 100%. And that's why you see everything on my board is 1-drops. Like, I don't care if he attacks and kills all of these. I don't think I've boarded a single ape, even though it's turn 4. Just for fear of having my board attacked down into nothingness and kind of wasting that investment. Here I'm able to rest this Vegeta, which it'll restand later in the turn, but I also get to deny him an attack and then draw a card for playing a Bardock Screw during his turn, which is nice.
Yeah, getting that first attack, because it should guess is auto when played, right?
Yeah, it's Borgos. The counterplay is just play this card, and then the auto is kind of like how Charismatic Frieza works, where you choose a 7-drop or less and switch it to rest mode.
But now Steve gets to restand it. Now it has double strike. It now has barrier for any other things. But you are playing yellow. But you're tapped out, so you're more of a risk of taking this hit. Oh, and tie-ins Zamasu super combos I assume helps out in the current meta as well, where there's more battle cards and whatnot.
Oh yeah. This deck draws enough cards that you don't really need to draw out of your super combos. And especially now that I'm playing the Gohan and Piccolo heroic team in the list, which came down earlier but died pretty quickly thereafter. These Zamasu super combos are really nice just for being able to jam that in order to help fulfill heroic team's requirements and not feel too bad like you're wasting value or something.
Yeah, I think a few times there I may have missed procking that Vegeta Z battle card, his auto.
Like throughout the event? Because you did do it right that time.
Did I do it that time? Yeah, I'm pretty sure for sure I did it a few times on when we played or on that Saturday. But I don't know. Little things like that I'm still trying to catch up on.
Like I said, we did have a 2-week break where we weren't doing a lot of events. I know some of the guys tried their best to meet up on Wednesdays.
Yeah. And not only that, it was sort of like a last minute decision to play Gogeta. You know, last few weeks that we had been playing, I was playing SS4 Goku Reboot. But decided on
feel free to play Gogeta anytime you want. Stop playing that fuck ass SS3 deck. Thank you.
Yeah. I bought the leader from you, Jimmy.
I know. I didn't realize you were gonna be a bitch with it.
I didn't realize you were gonna beat my ass.
Yeah.
What's going on, Jimmy?
Oh yeah, what's going on?
So, yeah, go ahead.
I just want to let you know, Jimmy. Jason just bought the leader as well, so Team Broly is going to be making an SS3 heightened evolution entrance eventually.
So, what's going on with your leader right now?
He's got a box on his head. I don't know.
So,
yeah. Go ahead.
The evolved defender Goku will prevent it from attacking during his next turn, but it can switch back to active mode, which is important. Which is why we can't just leave it in rest mode. Because if he did, I could just continually jam these evolved defenders turn after turn, and his leader could never swing again. Basically, because evolved defender requires you pick a card that's already in rest mode. So leader can't swing, just hoping to deny him some combos and or abilities to combo and things like that after he topoed me last turn.
That could be another reason to run the Zamasu Super Combo as well. With as powerful as the SS4 Gogeta leader is, you can just keep tapping it down with Zamasu. It's a lot of investment, but they get a lot of value off of that leader being able to attack.
I was just thinking the same thing, actually. Do you play that at a 4 of, Jake?
I played the secret rare, so I have 3 Zamasus and then the secret rare. Go on, Piccolo.
So, I have to ask, Steve, what's are you not seeing the big boy? Are you trying to just whittle him down before you bring it out? Like, what's the plan here?
I think on turn 4, I just didn't see it. I can't be for sure. I think maybe if I did have it in hand, I was going for a different game plan. Maybe, trying to whittle some battle cards down with the Z battle card a few times, and turn. I don't know if I make it to a later turn, which I feel like I could have with super combos and whatnot in the hand, possibly. I feel like I could have made it to turn 6 scenario, possibly. So turn 6 was probably the go-to. Yeah, him locking my leader down really, really discomforted me. Did not enjoy that.
Yeah, I remember we had played once before, and I was playing Trunks and Vegeta, and really just out of desperation in a game, I played that evolved defender, and you were like, wow, that really sucks. And I was like, I'm going to remember that. So every time I play against SS4, the goal is to drop the evolved defender at some point.
Works well.
SS4 gets so much value off of just being able to turn that card sideways. You get battle card plays, you get draws. Those battle cards you're playing are going to draw cards. You can still combo them off to board more cards. Like the leader is really the crux of the SS4 Gogeta strategy. Wow, paint coming down. That's an interesting secret rare for SS4.
I don't have Vegito. I don't even have like Go Hanks, so
No, you shouldn't.
But I
have
do
Go
have
Hanks
that.
anyway.
hey, it's red.
I will say, I feel like Pan is so on its value in this particular in SS4 Gogeta, mainly because like the cards that you're playing are immediately getting comboed off, or they're not staying on the board long enough.
Mm-hmm.
So it breaks down to like what you're playing against, and if you're playing against an opponent who just kind of keeps 1 or 2 cards on the board, how hard is it to play Pan at that point?
And playing against Jake with this leader that he's using.
Yeah, I mean, in this matchup, it's easy.
It helps out.
Yeah,
but
it is one of the only other secret rares that you can just play without tapping energy. Of course, it's not as good as the Vegito, where you just have to have 6 cards in your drop area to play it. Once you Z-Awaken, you don't get your untap step. Running a secret rare that you have to tap energy for can be a problem on the clapback if you do survive. So I could see Pan being valuable in that sense.
and real quick, let's talk about Jake just having Release Your Evil ready to go again, which prevents you from getting the combo draws, which is really strong against this deck. But once again, I feel like where is Gogeta? Like this is turn 6. We have not seen it yet. Actually,
it's under Goku.
Yeah, I saw that. don't know, I feel like that would have been really important in this situation, like being able to just slam a Gogeta here, clear his board. He has 3 life now. I don't know what Jake's hand size is. I think that's... Yeah, no, that's not his... That's his deck, I think. Like, I don't know what his hand size is currently, but... Didn't know if that was an option
For it being massive.
Yeah, it's... Your hand floats around 10 or 12 cards in Bardock, so I imagine it's probably somewhere near there. I haven't done any big, like, sweeping combos yet, so my hand's probably still pretty decent.
I do remember...
Although since it's off camera, we can't see.
I do remember, I think me and Jimmy walking over, and I looked at your deck, and I realized it was smaller than Steve's. And I was like, how is that possible?
Just, you draw
Probably run too many cards.
Yeah. I think I'm right at 50 or maybe 52 with this Bardock list, and there are turns where you draw 3 or more cards outside of your draw step, so you can burn through your deck really quickly. And then with the inclusion of the Tora Apes, the Tora Negates, and the Borgoses, you can turn around and draw cards on your opponent's turn too, so you're always just digging through the deck. Yeah, Violent Rays was interesting here because I do have a couple cards in my deck, like that Broly we see in the warp there, that are over 30k, but unfortunately I've just got a lot of 20k pressure on the field already.
Yeah, did Steve discard a card for it, for the additional effect?
Probably did.
Because that's one of the things where, unfortunately, where Violent Ray has kind of lost a lot of its steam, where it won't affect 20Ks anymore. In a situation like this, it's not the greatest to discard a card. It's mainly just used as a negate and just keep your hand, I feel like.
Yeah, I didn't know if Jake had a big boss monster to come down. I didn't know that it was all 20Ks up until that point. I know I've played against this deck before, but I just could not jog my memory of it.
Yeah.
But just in case, I discarded a card.
I mean, you do have to respect the Broly Overrealms, or any Overrealm of that case. You have to respect the Secret Rare, which will most likely be Gohan Piccolo if it's a full power yellow build. And then also the Skillless Fasha. It is Fasha, correct?
Yeah, the 30k.
Yeah, the Skillless Fasha as well, but you don't necessarily have to play that card if you're playing Bardock. You can target other cards for its play, correct, off of the Big Bardock Monkey?
Yeah, you can target any of the apes. They just have to have different names from... They can't be Bardock, and they can't be the same card. So I like to go get a big Skillless Fasha, and then maybe a blocker, and then leave that blocker inactive, and then when my opponent's turn starts, it'll get its skills back, and I can block with it.
I feel like this was an interesting play. Wasn't expecting to 4-drop Goku at this time. And I get this is a very combo-heavy deck, so I see the benefit of having this card in the deck. But I might start to agree with you, Steve. You may have one too many cards in your deck. Because I don't know, like, what I've seen, if this card's even really relevant for this deck.
Yeah, I mean, it feels good to play against blue. That's why he's in there. I believe I only run him at a 1-0.
How many Frieza's Reinforcements armies did you have, Jake?
I had 3 in my hand. I mean, there's 4 cards left in my deck at this point. So, yeah, see, there they are. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've drawn pretty much everything.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Bardock did take the win this match. Thanks for joining, guys. Hope you all enjoyed today's matchup. Keep in mind there's buttons, there's links, there's all that fun stuff down below. Feel free to check it out. And like always, thanks for tuning in.